A man needs to be fucked. Those were his exact words. This white boy with yellow hair, the color of corn, from Iowa or Ohio. I do not know the difference. Jim. I call him Jim Boy because he looks like he could have been on the Waltons. That is my children's favorite show. They watch all the reruns. Jim Boy showed up at the club where I have been dancing for the past 23 years. He saw my picture in a newspaper advertisement. I like manly men, he said to me, macho men, dark men, men with sturdy legs and strong stares. Well, I guess I fit the bill, I said to this boy with much guts. But I am not gay. He stared right through me. His pale blue eyes penetrating me. A man needs to be fucked, he said. Everyone assumes male dancers are queer. Not true. I grew up with kids taunting me. Here comes the dancer, they'd say, as if dancer meant fairy, faggot, fruit. Here comes the dancer. I learned to outrun them. Most of those guys are dead by now. Gang fights. I outran them and I outlived them. Dancing was not what my father had in mind for his only son. Dancing is for sissies, he'd hiss. In order to go to dancing school, I had to prove I was no sissy. I became a ladies' man at a very early age. My father was impressed, if not with my dancing ability, with my ability to attract beautiful girls. I got married to please my dad. I was 17. Marrying Gabriella made it easier for my father to accept the idea of me becoming a dancer. There was never any kind of question about what kind of dancer I'd be. From the time I was a little boy and saw the picture of a flamenco dancer in a book, I knew. While other boys my age wanted to be Superman, I longed for the power and the passion of that flamenco dancer's strong stare, his impenetrability. I carried that picture around with me for years for inspiration. Thank God I was good enough to get a steady job flamenco dancing by the time Gabriella became pregnant with our first child. After I moved away from home, I had only 2 serious discussions with my father, and both of them were about butt fucking. Our first man-to-man talk, as he called them, occurred when Gabriella ballooned up from the pregnancy. You must not commit adultery, he said to me, being a strict Catholic. But being a man, you will have urges, and your wife will be too sick or too fat or too whatever. Find a boy, a puto, to fuck in the ass, he said to me, as if this was the 11th commandment. Find a puto to fuck in the ass. Feels great, he said. You will not know the difference. Like Iowa and Ohio, I thought. So I did. And it did. Our second man-to-man talk occurred less than 3 years later, when Gabriella was pregnant with our 3rd child. You obviously have not learned how to practice birth control, he said to me. I knew he was not speaking about rubbers forbidden by the church. You must learn to fuck her like you fuck those pretty boy putos. Then, no more babies. Suddenly, I knew why I was an only child. Gabriella would not go for it. Hurts too bad, she said, so we had 2 more babies in as many years. Feeding 5 hungry kids on the salary of a flamenco dancer is not easy. Of course, there were ladies at the club who offered me gifts. I knew they wanted to feel what was between the flamenco dancer's sturdy legs. When one lady offered me $100, I knew she wanted more than a feel. I blamed Gabriella. If she'd done what my father had suggested, I wouldn't have to fuck this old broad for $100. But I did. I had 5 hungry kids to feed. It became a weekly ritual with this rich old broad. Then I started servicing her girlfriends. I was exhausted, but I was making an extra $1,000 a month. I still, even at my age, get offers. As long as they don't see my feet. As long as it doesn't spread onto my face, into my mouth. There is one conversation I did not have with my father about butt fucking. A conversation that might have saved my life. A man needs to be fucked, he whispered. We are in the hotel room which he has rented for the weekend. The newspaper advertisement of me is on the dresser. He is rubbing my feet. You have such attitude when you're on stage, he says to me. I do not understand attitude. Charisma, he says. Oh, garbo. Garbo is what you're meaning. Garbo, like in Greta Garbo, he asks. We laugh. He begins kissing my feet, licking my toes, putting each toe into his mouth like they're cherry popsicles. He's sucking my toes. I'm feeling things I have never felt before. I feel his finger slide into my ass as he works his way up from my feet, kissing my ankles, my knees, my calves, my balls, until I am completely wet. His tongue is inside me. I will never be the same. He fucks me with his tongue, and then he is on top of me, kissing my face, whispering in my ear, tell me how much you need it. He says to me, tell me how much you need it. I need to be fucked. I hear myself say, under the spell of this boy from Iowa or Ohio, I do not know the difference. It does not hurt, but I feel tears on my face. Or could it be the juices from this young boy's mouth? I am coming! I am gay! I am not gay. I am a husband and a father, a good Catholic, a Spanish flamenco dancer, Catholic, Mexican, those are not lesions on my feet. Those are patches of passion, purple tattoos oozing from places on my skin where his lips touched, feet first, moving up my legs, inside my ass, up my chest, inside my mouth, until I am covered with his deadly marks, his lovely kisses, a violet shroud of love and death. I will not die. He gave me his youth, injected me with immortality. I do not have AIDS. I am not gay. I am Spanish, immortal, Superman, impenetrable, a ladies' man, a ladies' man who needs to be fucked. Now I know the difference. Before Jim Boy, I did not know the difference between life and death, gay and straight, Iowa and Ohio. Now, I know the truth.